Yeah, you good?
Yep.
Okay. It's always to move from easy to hard. You know, that's how I study. I take the basic broad things, and then every time I go back, I look at the harder things and add them, because you need to be able to pick out the easy things without losing those points, right? Because we don't want to miss a hair shaft, right? Okay. The orange structure is the hair follicle, and this is the hair bulb. So those things should just take 2 seconds, right? Just want to make sure you can spell them. You know what you're looking at, right? So if I say, what is this orange structure? We say follicle. The other thing that's real basic is the 3 parts of the skin. So here's our focal point, the hills and valleys, the orange. If I said, name this layer of skin, you would say epidermis. Now we start seeing the yellow stuff. What type of tissue is that?
Adipose tissue.
Adipose. And when we start seeing adipose, what layer of skin would that indicate? Hypodermis. So between this and between the fat, what layer of skin is all of this?
Dermis.
Dermis. So that's you should already kind of have a good feel for right now. And you want to just read the questions, because I could just have a sticker here and I'd say, what, name that layer of skin, you would say hypodermis. But you don't want to go too quick, because it might have been name that tissue, which is totally different. And that's adipose tissue. Yeah. So don't get in a hurry. Make sure that you do read the questions, because you may just jump into it and miss something really simple, right? Okay. Same thing with this. If the sticker's here and I say name the layer of skin, you say dermis. But the harder question will be name the layer of dermis. Okay. That's a different question. There's 2 divisions. Just like you have 5 layers of epidermis, you have 2 divisions of dermis. So we go back to this division point that I told you is a good focal point to have, because you told me everything above it is epidermis. So everything below it is dermis, but there's 2 divisions. So just this little area above the pin that's in those folds right here, that's papillary dermis, okay? So these are sometimes called papillae, these little bumps or ridges. Everything from here to the fat would be what kind of dermis? Yeah. Reticular. Reticular, yeah. So those will be harder order things to identify, spell. Okay. So we have, what layer of skin is this? Dermis. What layer of dermis is it?
That's the
Reticular. What layer of dermis is it?
Papillary.
Papillary. This has a similar sound. This is a capillary bed, okay? So different thing.
Here's the blood vessels.
It's where the diffusion's taking place. Now you've got capillary beds all out in here, but they just show you these on our models. Okay? All right, this is easy. There's only one. It looks like a muscle. It is a muscle. Trouble's going to be spelling it. Okay? So you've got to hear that A. Arrector pili muscle. All right, there are 3 glands that I want you to be able to pick out. There's more than that examples on here. So to me, the first thing you want to do is be able to separate these guys. They both have hairs. Okay? So I got to find a way to break those apart. And to me, this is the easy way. If you can hit that mnemonic. A for axilla, A for apocrine sweat gland. Okay? So the apocrine sweat gland, you've already ruled him out. He's always with a hair. He's under your arms, and we know that's hair under your arms. This one, though, is associated with a different product. This is a sebaceous gland. Okay, so they're making sebum, which coats and waxes your hairs. Okay, so it's anywhere there's a hair on your body, you're going to have these guys. This is just going to be in the axilla, and that leaves this guy that doesn't have a hair, and he's everywhere. So this is the eccrine sweat gland. So you're going to see it here. You're going to see one here, and you also, if you follow this one up, there's no hair in sight. So this is an eccrine as well. Okay, and that leaves some of the harder order ones, which is the layers of epidermis. Okay, so we go back. If I said layer of skin, you would just say epidermis. But if I pointed to the little orange and I said name that layer of epidermis, I'm looking for stratum basal. The base, right? So again, it's a really critical part to be able to see this break point, because a lot of things are going to hinge around that. Okay, so we go in order. It gets harder. The 2 easiest ones to me are going to be basal and corneum. Okay, because if that was my starting point, I would get those two first. But the other ones, you got basal, spinosum, granulosum, lucidum, and corneum. Corneum, you can think about maybe someone's corns on their foot. They're hard and tough. And lucid, you ever heard someone say they have a lucid moment? They're clear. It looks kind of clear, so whatever you can do to kind of get that information going. But again, you have all 5 layers here, which is, of course, Palmer's hole. And again, I don't cover any of this up. You're going to be able to tell that's armpit, right? That's it. This is really straightforward part of the practical. You know exactly what it is. And I usually use just about all of these on the test. So you'll have almost every one of those will be on a model. Okay. The directional terms, the body cavities, you've got a good idea how to expect it, but you won't know exactly what I'm asking. This, on the other hand, if you know it, you've sealed up those points, right? Got any questions on it?
I had a question on this, but I'll get
Sure.
back on the work. List all the tissue types that